Hi and welcome back to David Tom Creations channel. Today I'm having a look at the new plugin from Cherry Audio, which is the GX-80, and that is a kind of hybrid between the very famous CS-80 and the not quite so famous GX-1, the CS-80, which was most famously used by Vangelis on the Blade Runner soundtrack. I have done a video with a bit more information about that, and I will leave a link to that in the description. So this is just out last week, and they have it on offer for only $59, which is, I think I paid £51, so it'll be about the same euros, about 52 euros maybe. Highly recommend getting it because it's possibly one of the best plugins of 2022. They have been working on this for about a year, I think it was. Right, so it was nominated by Music Radar as Best Plugin Software of 2022. So the GX80 is a virtual synth that combines the sound and features of the fabled GX1 and its renowned descendant, the CS80, to provide a powerhouse hybrid. Featuring the carefully crafted and intensely circuit-modelled DSP designs of Mark Barton, Cherry Audio has replicated every subtlety of the classics to create the most authentic emulation of its kind. That is a GX1, so it kind of looks a bit more like an organ, and it was all presets. There was couldn't really footer about with the synthesizer parameters. So it says more than a replicant. So the GX80 is not just another CS80 emulation, which there are quite a few, and Arturia has probably been one of the best. So the GX80 integrates the GX1's distinctive feature set into the CS80 architecture. Most significantly, the massive dual layer architecture that effectively made the GX1 the equivalent of two CS80s. The GX1 worked completely different in relation to how the CS80 worked. So the GX80 boasts an impressive dual layer voicing architecture with 16 polyphonic voices per layer, and there's two layers. They're kind of like two identical layers that you can work in. So for ultimate flexibility and expressive performance, the GX80 provides a split keyboard mode and a clever option to simulate polyphonic aftertouch. GX80 comes preloaded with 1,000 presets and equipped with studio-grade effects, meaning jaw-dropping sounds. In 1973, the GX1 was on sale for $50,000. And I think they only made about 20 of them. So as a result of its immense size, weight and price tag, the Dream Machine, as it was known, was only available to the most well-heeled professional musicians. Yeah, no kidding. And one of them was Keith Emerson. So he used this on Fanfare for the Common Man, I believe. And also Led Zepp used it on All My Love. So 4 years later, so 1977, the CS80 synth was released, and it was more compact and affordable. Well, they say affordable, it was still like 25 grand. So it had obviously a single keyboard and two ranks. The CS80 remained the same basic voicing architecture and real-time performance control capabilities of the GX1. The CS80 was used by loads of people, including Hans Zimmer, Vangelis, Peter Gabriel, etc., etc. That is kind of the gist of what this plugin is based on. Because like I said, I didn't really know much about the GX1 and its huge price tag. It's not as famous as the CS80. At last count, only a dozen operating GX1 have been accounted for. So that's, I mean, consider they only made 20, that's not bad. And the CS80 are now being listed for around about $60,000. So imagine how much Vangelis's actual CS80 would cost if you tried to get that, or if it's even still available, I don't know. And then these are some of the guys that were involved in the presets. Now, my favourite ones are Huston Singletary. So, and I'm going to preview some of them in the second half of this video. So his are freaking brilliant. They're very Blade Runner-y. So it's got some demos and some presets. So I'll play a couple of his, because these are literally all his presets. We'll start off with chapter 1. it just sounds amazing, this thing. And yeah, I'll play this. I think that was it. Origami arithmetic. Yeah, so like I said, his are pretty cool. So I'm not going to read this whole GX features because it goes on for about 50 bloody bullet points. So you can see, you can see what you're getting. So yeah, I mean it is mental. So the main things are, it's got massive dual layer voicing with 16 voices per layer. Sub oscillator LFO for each layer with sine, sawtooth, ramp, square, sample and a hold. The virtual pitch ribbon, which is absolutely brilliant. It's a bit like the one on the bigger Hydrosynth. Kind of runs along the front of the VST. So there's 1,000 essential presets, and there's also the effects are chorus, rotary, flange phaser, digital tape delay with sync, reverb, and including the acclaimed galactic reverb. And then there's also expressive touch response, a velocity sensitive with support for both polyphonic and monophonic aftertouch. Available in AU, VST, VST3, and AAX, and also a standalone version, so you don't actually have to use it within a DAW. It has a standalone app. A free 30-day demo is available, and you will get white noise kind of playing through it. And I did actually download the demo first and played around with it for about a day or so, and then bought it. So we've got Mac, and it is actually supporting Ventura as well, and you've got Windows 7 or above. And that is it. And you also need to be connected for the activation procedure, which is fairly painless and straightforward. You don't have to download Plugin Manager to do it. It's just a matter of installing the plugin, and then when you open it in, like for instance Logic, it will just connect automatically. And so anyway, so that is enough chatting about it. Let's get it hooked up, and I'll open up in Logic and we'll see how it sounds. Right, so here we are with the GX-80 in Logic, and as you can see, it is Mahusive. You can alter the size of the plugin either by dragging it or by where are we? That one. So you can zoom in and out using that, or just drag it. So I'll start at the top. So you've got if you want to start a new an init, so. That is what the init sounds like, and like I said, I'm going to go over all this in another video. So you've got your save, you've got your preset, and you can select by collections. So like I said, we're going to have a look at some of Huston's today, and then you've got your favorites, you've got recents, and then it's split up into categories, and then you can either pin this if you want to pin the presets on. You just hit this pin button, or you can flick through them like that, and you've got the redo undo buttons there. You've got settings button where you've got general interface and account. You've got like I said, the zoom control. You've got MIDI learn, which is pretty cool, pretty easy. I've already mapped the mod wheel to this modulation, and it was pretty straightforward. So the only thing that comes pre-mapped is the pitch bend, which is this strip here. So you can see it goes up and down, or down and up. And there is a slight difference. So the controls on this were, because it was kind of based on an organ, the mod wheel goes from goes in the opposite direction. So you don't go up. It starts off at 0 full up, and then you go down to actually activate it. So that takes a wee bit of getting used to. So then you've got a MIDI panic button. You've got the QWERTY little keyboard that comes up, which is quite cool. The oversampling quality, so I've just left this as normal. Then you've got help button, and then you've got focus. So, because I was thinking, how the hell am I going to see all this? So they've added a focus button. So it just zooms in on this, the main digital control section. So that is a brilliant idea, because that is the main bit that you're going to be using for the presets. So you've got kind of layer 1, a layer 2. You can see it switches them off and on. Or rank, they call them ranks, but we'll call them layers. And then you've got all these other, you've got the effects, you've got basically the chorus, flange, reverb, and delay. And then we've got, like I said, this kind of, this is the kind of filter section. You've got high pass, low pass, and then you've got all these other controls for the VCA. So like I said, we're going to have a look at that in another video once I've actually got to grips with it. And the manual, for some reason, is only 60 pages. So you can download the manual from the website. So 60 pages is not exactly going to cover a lot of how this works. And then, let's say you've got your master pitch, retune, the ring modulator, the sub-oscillators, and then this is the pitch, the pitch controls, and the tone selectors, and various other touch response, keybed control, and master volume and limiter. You have to switch the effects off and on. You need to switch them all on or off. So you can see they actually light up. So for instance, that preset, whatever it is, Too Hot For You, only has one effect switched on. So that said, I'm going to go into all that in further detail later. This is just, you know, a quick kind of overview of how it looks and what is involved in the actual plugin. So let's have a look at said presets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, because I've gone through this and favoured quite a lot already when I had the demo one. So we're going to have a look at some of Huston's, because these are, we'll start off with the first one. And I'm using my S49 keyboard, which doesn't have polyphonic aftertouch, but my Hydrosynth does, so I might hook up that when I'm actually going to go through these and actually play some more presets. And like I said, so this the pitch bend you'll recognise from kind of Blade Runner. So that's possibly one of the coolest pitch bends of any plugin. Just bump up the volume a bit. So we're just going to run through a few of these. Andromeda cluster. That's the modulation. So if we see this bit here, you'll see it's going from 0% is up and 100% is down, which is just bizarre. But apparently that's what the original was like, and it was because it was based on an organ where you kind of pulled the controls forward. I don't know, but anyway, it's just takes a wee while to get used to. So arena entrance. And what have we got? Baseband drone. I'm trying to find some. So some of the basses are particularly cool. And That pitch bend is just the dog's bollocks. Blush response is from the scene in Blade Runner, I'm assuming. That is lovely, and you can use the scroll wheel to go through the presets. Earth incoming. So cool. Right, what else have we got? Huston Blues. So one of the problems with having so many controllers is you can't really map this to a normal kind of MIDI controller because there's so many things, so that there is going to be quite a lot of mouse movement if you want to. I mean, apart from maybe mapping, if you got a controller with faders, you could map them to some of these, but there's so many that controls on this. That is going to be the only kind of downside, that you are going to have to kind of use your mouse quite a bit. So this is I've Seen Things. So as you know, if you watched any of my videos, I am a huge fan of sci-fi and pads in particular. A lot of my Korg wave state presets are quite sci-fi, and my hydrosonic ones as well. And I am a huge fan of Blade Runner. So this was a bit of a no-brainer getting this GX-80 plugin. So that is a lovely preset. The presets are generally pretty damn good. Let's see, where have we got organic arithmetic? Yeah, that's the one that I kind of played in the intro. Honestly, it's worth getting just for that pitch bend control stick. So yeah, so that is quite a few of, let's try one more, Pure Oblivion. This is quite nice. So yeah, so that is just some of Huston's presets. Like I said, you can go to all presets, just my favorites. So you can see I've got quite a few favorites, and then go through some of the categories. So there's 150 pads, 100 basses, 110 keys, 155 leads, 155 polys, and 82 splits, and 73 strings, and 77 brass. So those are the main ones. And then you've also got organs, perk, plucks, SFX, there's 50 SFX. So yeah, so there's a fair old number. So I've not even tried creating something and saving it, but I'm sure it's going to be fairly straightforward because it is quite well thought out. I do quite like this because it is quite, when you open it up, it's quite frightening. So anyway, so that's my quick overview and a few presets from the new Cherry Audio GX-80. And like I said, if you're in any doubts, you can download. You get the demo works for 30 days, and it just has a bit of white noise, so you can still play and test it and favorite the presets that you like. And then when you buy it, it'll just automatically update. You don't need to uninstall the demo or anything. It was all pretty straightforward. So anyway, like I said, probably one of the best plugins this year. And like I said, there will be quite a few videos to follow, me creating presets and showing you the rest of the controls and how they work. So anyway, so thanks for watching, and as usual, if you are liking these, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.